Yep. Evening. How's everybody doing? It's kind of late. What the hell time is it? I don't know. I got my watch off. Any rates, I don't really know what I'm going to say in this video. All I know is I'm fucking mad. I'm pissed. And this might be directed to some people that are like, oh, Jim, why do you have to bring politics into everything? Because it is everything. Every aspect of our fucking pathetic existence in this fucking country revolves around politics. And if it isn't right, people fucking get fucked up. And right now is a prime example of that. Ask anyone from Asheville, North Carolina, how Big Daddy G's fucking helping them out. I'm seeing more and more shit come out of there. Now, I watched one video. So let me explain down what I've been watching, so now you understand why my brain's all confused, because trying to weed through the bullshit and figure out what's real, what's fake, blah, 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 dang, dang, whistle bar. So I watched this one video, and this is a guy that, I don't know if y'all ever heard of bunker branding. The guy's a vet, Army vet, whatever, hangs out with soft guys, whatever, cool. Says that, the whole, FEMA's handed out $750. It's not a one-time thing. And they have to sign up to get more money. Like, let's just make up an example. Let's just say that, you literally walk up and you have the clothes on your back because your entire existence is now gone, right? So they give you a gift card or some horse shit you can use at a fucking Walmart, if you can find one that's open. A store that you can use this at, because there's no fucking stores. Anyway, they give you this little gift card thing with your $750, and that way, you can get your needs that you're not, right now, like formula, meds, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. All right, neat. Appreciate that. And then the paperwork part is to start filling out shit, basically almost like an insurance claim, saying, hey, I lost my entire fucking life. My house is gone, the whole 9 yards. So I seen that video. I'm like, okay, I got it. Then I just watched the Glenn Beck, Blaze TV, was down with a senator, which I cannot remember his name, but dude was fucking huge, got a big old, he looks like a Viking. Cannot remember, I don't know where he's from. I'm assuming from the Carolinas, maybe. Obviously a Republican if he's with fucking Glenn Beck. Any rate, I digress. So they're just driving around in the van. They didn't give the town that they were in. Obviously, they were near a destructive area, because they were feeding people up the street. And they just happenstance to come across a FEMA truck that was out of line of sight. Like, the only person that actually caught it in the van of 8 people was Glenn. Was the only person that seen it. They pull off and they go up there and they start asking these FEMA people, how they're conducting their business. Like, how are you getting the word out? How are you doing this? How are you doing that? And this guy, and God bless this fella, he just seemed like a useful idiot. We just got here yesterday. We were having trouble getting the internet up, and, we're getting people signed up. And basically, long and short of it, he's explained to Glenn about how, you download this app on your phone, and you can get the, apply for the help that you need from the government. And then Glenn Beck politely points out, well, what if they don't have a phone? Or, you had to maneuver your vehicle here to get internet. So what if they have nothing? How do they know that you're here? He even asked. He's like, that's the media's problem to figure that out. He literally said that. That's the media's problem, is to inform the public, which, by the way, some public are still trapped out there. Or, again, that maybe they've made it down off of wherever they're at, or to a specific place to get food, supplies, whatever. Where are you listening to the radio? How are you watching the news, asshole? Glenn was a lot nicer at it than I would have been. So then he's like, well, how are you getting the word out to people that don't have this technology available here in 2024? Oh, we go door to door. Well, when does that start? Oh, I can't answer that. You're gonna have to talk to my my manager. It's almost like he worked at McDonald's, you know what I mean? Fucking shit. So at any rate, he goes and gets his manager, nice older lady. And no offense to anyone that's working these things, but I mean, none of them look very spry, if you know what I'm saying. That dude that was folding some chairs and putting them in the truck, because I guess they were wrapping up for the day. They were going to wrap up around 5, because, that's what time they got to get done. Any rate, this woman comes out, and Glenn, so when do you start going door to door? Oh, we don't do that. Well, how are you reaching people that are unreachable? Right? Because there's thousands of people in the Asheville, North Carolina area that are unreachable. Not a good answer. So I watched that video and that pissed me off. You can find that on Blaze TV on the ScrewTube right here. And then I just subscribed to Tim Kennedy's YouTube channel, which I highly suggest to do that. And he's a little bit more politically correct too, probably because he doesn't want his channel, shit canned either. And he was down there. I'm sure you guys might have seen the little clip he'd interviewed on Fox, saying that he'd gotten a family out that had lost everything, had nothing, and wanted to get them a hotel room so they could get a hot shower and some clean clothes. But there was security at the hotel, and all the rooms were booked with federal employees. Now, my other question, too, is, because we all pay federal income tax in this great land of ours, to make everything work, I guess, for us, right? Isn't that how that's supposed to work? We pay our federal income taxes so that way the federal government will have funds to support the people that pay said fucking taxes. Isn't that how it's supposed to fucking work? Or am I fucking dumb over here? I'm just a guy out in his shop asking fucking questions. You know what I'm saying? So at any rate, those people couldn't get a hot shower and a nice bed that night. Fuck them, right? Because the federal employees that are down there, that God knows how much they're getting paid. Which, you know what? Yeah. I'm not saying they shouldn't get paid. All I'm saying is I want my fucking money's worth out of what I'm paying for. And meanwhile, that FEMA truck that Glenn pulled up on, they're going to wrap up at 5 o'clock. How much are them fucktards getting paid an hour? They had 2 people sitting at a table waiting for the mobs to show up. And Glenn points out the people are being fed down the street. How about you set up your truck where it can be seen? How about you set up some signs to let people know where you are? But all they wanted to talk about was their fancy app and how they're getting thousands of people signed up. It's a fucking joke. A fucking joke. Just watched another video. This kid is from Asheville, North Carolina, lives in Maine. He's part of a volunteer fire department up there. He wants to go home and help. So his volunteer fire department is getting guys together, but you have to have certain qualifications. Now, meanwhile, he says, well, I'm qualified to go into a raging building on fire and wear an SCBA and rescue someone out of a burning building. But because I can't remember what it was. I almost remember this from my days in the volunteer fire department, but he had to have some other qualification. Well, let me take you back a handful of years. It's around 2002. We had a wicked storm here local, we had an ice storm, a mini ice storm here, knocked a shit ton of trees down, power out everywhere. I was in the middle of building, which is now my ex-wife's house. Literally, the guys were installing the carpet with no power. They installed the carpet with a generator. Not like you need power to kick carpet in, but at any rate, I was part of the local volunteer fire department. So was my father. Just so happens we cut wood for fucking heat every year. Everyone had chainsaws. The big yank is we had trees that were blocking off roads. And in case the ambulance needed to go get someone of a medical emergency, at least on the roads that our department was liable for, we made sure that those roads were clear. No one asked if we were certified to run a fucking chainsaw. We were volunteer firemen. When you sign up to do that, there's a certain amount of risk that you just take on, regardless. And guess what? You're not fucking getting paid. So this kid wanted to go down to his hometown. He literally had they put up a photo of his mother's house. There's a foundation left. His mother's house literally washed away, gone. And he wants to go down there and support his hometown, but because he doesn't have some certification, to run a chainsaw or whatever. And at the tail end of that video, there was a guy, I don't know the names or whatever. It was a dude that was asking some woman that looks like she was in charge of some horse shit down there in Asheville about, so are you or are you not turning away civilian helicopter help? Something along those lines. Don't quote me. And she rattled off this whole garbage about how they had to go through this, that, and the other fucking thing. Basically, bureaucratic bullshit is what I'm getting to. And that ties all the way back into, why do you always talk about politics, Jim? Because everything revolves around politics. Because politicians write policy. And that policy directly affects you and me in some sort of way in our pathetic existence in this country. Almost every way. I mean, name me something that you're buying it, you're trying to build it. Now you're trying to rescue people. Now there's bureaucrat bullshit in the way. He gave what was the name of that town? Damn it. He had a great analogy on how fucked up it is. Basically, how's that? How fucked up it is. And the other fucked up thing, when the thems and theys want to talk about misinformation. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Screwtube. Hold on. I've been holding this fucking thing for 20 minutes. The outlets, let's say media outlets. And at this point right now, no one has a clue. And actually, it wasn't even this younger fella. It was Tim Kennedy, who those of you are not familiar with, and I think I spoke about him last time. He's a former special forces operator and an MMA fighter. He's a bona fide fucking badass and American patriot. Yeah. He said a couple of things that I think was taken out of context about gun control not too long ago, but trust me when I tell you he's not a fucking libtard. Any rate, the death toll has been highly what's the word I'm looking for? Damn it, it's going to come to me here in a second. Hold on. Unreported, maybe? The numbers aren't right. How's that? They're way under. And you have to think to yourself, why is that? Who would not benefit from having the correct death toll numbers out right now? Now, if we all remember down during the scamdemic, when Trump was in office, every time you turned on the television, fuck almighty, there was a ticker going across the bottom of how many of Americans died that day from the imaginary fucking flu disease that now the CDC says just consider it the flu. But 3 years ago, on every major news station, there was a ticker of the death toll. Because Orange Man bad, if you ask me. My opinion. So I find it, awful funny that now that the boot's on the other face and we have a deranged fucking guy that shits his pants and some cackling hyena that can't say 2 words unless there's a script in front of her. We can't make them look bad now, can we? We can't point fingers at them and say, oh, look what you did. You fucked up. Oh, no. Now, if Trump was in office and this was happening, this would be a major scandal on every single major news outlet. They wouldn't shut their fucking yaps about it. Why? Because they're basically the mouthpiece of the Democrat Party. Or the establishment. How's that? Fuck the Democrats, just the establishment, because there's fucking rhinos in there too. And now we're dealing with American lives. People are dying, babies, women, children, Americans. Americans are needlessly going to die on American soil because of negligence. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is fucking ridiculous. And if you're not mad about it yet, you fucking need to get there. How's that? And this is why, and exactly what Tim Kennedy said at the end of his little video he did on YouTube, this is why voting is important. And make sure you do your due diligence and you investigate on who you're voting for. Don't just ram down the line that says Republican, or if you're an idiot, if you run down the line, if it's no matter who, vote boo, you fucking dummy. How about you look at what they've been voting on, not what they tell you, not what they fucking show up to their little fucking get together and shake hands, shake babies and fucking kiss hands and shit. No, see what their voting policy has been. See what they really stand for. And then make your fucking decision. So it is very, 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 very important that we all get off our asses this November 5th and fucking vote. And that's the other thing I think I brought up in the live stream, or maybe it was a video I did before. And I know it's the farthest thing from these people's minds, which obviously it should be, but it is still very important. It's like, where are these people going to, we're talking about tens of thousands of people. Down in, North Carolina, someone did some fucking bean count not too long ago, and the number of people that are displaced was about the difference of the last election for North Carolina. See what I'm getting at there? I fucking hate it. And I feel so bad for those people down there. I walked around Manhattan for 16 days after 9/11. I went down there on September 16th. And we got out of there first week of October, I believe, is when we came home. So 2.5 weeks we were down there. And, I was a 20-something-year-old kid. And first time ever being down there. First time seeing, a skyscraper that was over 50 stories, because the largest city I ever been to prior to that was probably fucking Syracuse. So at any rate, just the level of devastation down there, I couldn't wrap my head around it. And even to this day, I got escalates the preacher man here, great local preacher guy. I was working with him at the time. And he's like, "You ever been to the Grand Canyon, Jimmy?" I'm like, "Nope." He's like, the best analogy for 9/11 was is if you've been to the Grand Canyon and then come home and try to explain it to someone. That place is awe-inspiring and beautiful, but it's so massive. You can't wrap your head around it. You get what I'm saying? So that's kind of like how 9/11 was. And with the videos and pictures I see of Asheville and parts of Tennessee and parts of Florida even, mostly the wicked stuff that I've seen came out of Asheville. It's biblical. This is shit that that these guys wrote about in the Bible about devastation. It's just, topographical maps now are going to have to be rewritten. Devastation. People's lives completely rearranged, upheaved, gone, the whole 9 yards. And I just can't imagine. I can't figure it out. Can't wrap my head around it. But politics fucking matter, y'all. And this is why we need to choose really good leadership. Pause. We need to choose better representation, not leaders. We need representation. Leaders are fucking made, not voted for. How's that? rant over. Real quick. Dad's coming home tomorrow. Had to fabricate some stuff. So he needs a PT board. So you guys will be the first ones to check it out. So got some Harley symbols in there. Got Scummit and Jags right there. Because, give a guy some motivation. Motorcycle and the hot rod. So that's going to need to be, Mom said we needed a board and it needed to be super slick. So that way he can put his legs on it and do kind of like snow angels. Other than not move his arms, but his legs, because that was the part that was affected. I think he said he did 50 feet today. Walked 50 feet today. Get up back up there. And then was able to stand up 4 times without using his arms. So basically just stood up. I'm assuming from a sitting position, just using his legs, which that's a huge deal. Huge deal. The great part is, not a great part, but, he's coming home because the insurance company. That's that'd be another video from another day. Because just like every other, bureaucratic system in this country, the insurance and healthcare system in this country is fucking broken. Not as far as money goes, but broken. They don't care about people. They care about that money. All right, y'all. I appreciate you. Those of you down in Florida, I'm thinking of y'all right now. I mean, it is Wednesday evening. I think that fucking Merle or Matt, whatever the fuck they named this one now, is hitting y'all at this moment. Keep your heads down, your powder dry. And, pray for our Americans. The people that should count more. Americans should be more important than other people. Remember that down? Send money somewhere else. Get pissed! We'll see ya.